The next thing says kind of organize your notes by topic. So have all your Huck Finn notes together, have all your Lady and the Dog notes together, and so forth. So that if the two topics you're going to write about are, for example, Rose for Emily and Huck Finn, you can just go right to those two piles and not mess with everything else. You're not like flipping back and forth through all your papers because that could get confusing. I would make sure that your books are annotated. I would go back through and read those annotations because we've been working on this for 6 weeks. So you probably don't remember a lot of it. So I would go back over that. I would review the plot, the characters, and the theme for each thing we've read for the novel and all the short works of fiction. So you don't have to write anything down, but I would just test myself. So I would say, okay, so for example, in everyday use, so who were the main characters? It was Dee and her mother and whatever. And then what was the main plot? What happened? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then what were the main themes? What do I think? What did the characters learn, or what was the main message of the author? So think about those things and just test yourself. Just ask yourself, like as if you were doing flashcards, like when you're a little kid, 2 times 6 is 12 or whatever, that kind of thing. And you don't have to memorize it and you don't have to write anything down. Just kind of think about it so you get that in your mind and you're not stuck on the day of the test thinking, oh my gosh, and the lady with the dog, what was the lady's name again? You're like, oh, that was Anna. Because you went back over it and you're not trying to struggle for think of names. Another tip is maybe try to think of some essay questions. How would you answer them? Try to make connections between different pieces of literature. For example, did you notice things that were similar? And I'll give you an example. This isn't going to be on the test, and this isn't even, it's comparing. I'll give you an example comparing Huck Finn and the importance of being earnest. So obviously, those aren't two things that we would compare on this test because Ernest was from drama. But both of those works of literature deal with social class. And what is the author trying to say about social class? So maybe you could think of an essay question about social class, and then maybe think about, well, if I had to write an essay question about that, what would I say? Because, for example, in Huck Finn, the upper classes, one person that I can think of, or one group of people who are the higher social class would be the Grangerfords. And how do the Grangerfords show that they were what do I think that Twain is saying about the upper classes by the way that he portrays the Grangerfords? So they're kind of acting in a way that you wouldn't expect. And what is Twain saying by that? That everyone's kind of low down deep inside, maybe? I mean, that's one possibility. There are others. Whereas in Ernest, Lady Bracknell kind of represents the upper classes, right? And she's very condescending, and she's very rude, and she's very superior, right? So how could I turn that into a comparison? And what do I think that those authors are trying to say about the upper classes? Okay, something like that. And then another thing you could do is I have 3 sample prompts on the written study guide. So you could take a look at those 3 samples and think about them. You don't have to write full essays, although the practice wouldn't hurt. So you could go through those and either write a full essay or write a thesis statement for practice writing thesis statements, and then just kind of think about how you would answer it, how you would approach it, maybe where some quotes are that you could use to answer those, that kind of thing. And then I would go back through Canvas and look at the discussions. There weren't that many because we just started doing that, but you might go back through and not only think about what you wrote on the discussions, but what did other people say to get some good ideas. And also any activities that we did in class when we were meeting face-to-face, as well as any activities that we did online where you got feedback. Go back and read my feedback because everything that I write is for a purpose. So I'm not just wasting my time giving you feedback, but I'm giving you feedback because I want you to be successful when it really counts, like on the test. So please go back and read my feedback. And if it says something like, oh, this is really good, oh, pay attention to that and hang on to it and maybe save it for the test. And if it fits with what you're going to be writing about, hey, use it again. Or if I said something like, oh, make sure that you don't plagiarize this. Or if I said something like, a couple times we wrote sample paragraphs, I had you write a paragraph. There was one about Huckleberry Finn, and there was another one we did more recently. I think it was about A&P. Yeah, I think it was about A&P. I don't remember. And there were a couple of people that didn't have any quotations in there. And I said, oh, wow, don't forget, you need to write a quote, you need to use quotations to support your argument. So make sure you do that on the test. Because if you're writing this whole essay and there are no quotations, guess what? You're not going to be very happy with your grade. And I'm going to feel like, did you even read my feedback on the paragraphs that we practiced on? That's the whole point of doing the practice, is to give you a chance to practice what we're going to be doing on the test. So go back to those practice paragraphs and any other class activities and make sure that anything that you got feedback on, view the feedback and then take it to heart and then put into practice what I'm telling you so that you can do better on the test. Okay? You do that, you'll be happier with the results. Promise. Okay? All right. I think that's all I have to say. Other than, if you have any questions, please email me. Honestly, I am here to help you. I can't get back to you necessarily the same day, but I will get back to you within 24 hours. Okay? I'm doing most of my work at night after my kids go to bed, but I can do that and I'm happy to. So please don't be shy about emailing me. I also left my cell number on Canvas, our Canvas page now, so you can call or text me. I just ask that you do it between 8 or 9 in the morning and about 10 p.m. and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So just get in touch with me. I want us all to be successful in this class. This has been a horrible thing that's been going on, and I really feel for all of you that are dealing with whatever you're dealing with, and let me help you, okay? I'm not going to lower the standards, but I'm going to be here to help you get through whatever it is that you're dealing with. So use me as a resource. Let me do what I can to help you. And so talk to me about whatever it is that you need to talk to me about and whatever it is that you're dealing with so we can get through this. Okay? All right. Good night. See you guys soon. Well, I probably won't. I don't know. Maybe we'll get back together. Maybe we won't. But if I don't see you, I wish you the best in all of your endeavors. And that's it. Okay. I'll try to post another one of these for test 3 and the final as well. Okay. Miss you guys.